Welcome to the new episode of r/Askreddit. What's the most unpleasant sensation no one talks about? That feeling when you know you can't hack up, that mucus at the back of your throat despite doing the most to get it out. But when you get it out, OMG. How about when you finally hack up a huge glob of phlegm, but there's either no trash bin nearby, no tissues to spit it into, or there's a bunch of people around you, and you don't want to look gross. So you can either keep it in your mouth for a while till you can spit it out, or you can swallow it. Edit. To the people saying they would chew their own glob of phlegm, you can also go chew tortilla chips vertically. When you manage to swallow a sip of water wrong, and it feels like you have instead swallowed a flaming golf ball which also takes forever to traverse your throat. Oh, that hurts, and can't breathe properly until it's halfway down. I seem to be doing that more often as I age. That plus choking on my own saliva. You know what annoys me the most about swallowing something wrong, especially a drink, is when someone keeps asking you if you're okay. I'm busy coughing trying to clear the discomfort out of my throat, so it's really hard to talk cause the sensation is horrible. I'd rather keep coughing without having to answer someone. Edit. Oh man, so many replies. I'm going to add a few things, since I keep getting similar replies to stuff. First of all, when it happened to me the person was driving, and I was in the back seat, so I couldn't just make some gesture to let them know I was fine. I had to give a verbal response. Second, I failed to mention that when it happened to me, someone repeating the question, I had already answered them, so there was no point in them repeating it. There was no food at all. I just had some water go down the wrong tube. So no chance of me choking on something. I mean, yeah, if it was food I can see why someone would ask. But there wasn't any. It's hard enough to answer someone once cause of how much my throat hurts, but if I have to answer them more than once cause they keep asking, that's when it gets annoying. I'm not trying to be mean, but some people need to chill out. In case anyone is curious, the person I'm talking about is a relative, and they are known to get frantic about stuff at the drop of a hat. She's driven other family members nuts too with how she is. The continuous "you should get a drink of water." Yeah, I'll do that while I'm continuously coughing. I'm sure that'll work well. Also, that's what got me into this mess to start with. The discomfort of being unable to sleep, coupled with restlessness, mixed with the knowledge that you need to wake up early for something important that needs you well rested. Edit. Tip for everyone facing this issue due to anxiety. I suffer from the same. What helps me a ton is putting on a documentary on YouTube via headphones on my phone. I turn my phone face down, so no light comes out. I try to pay attention to the documentary, which prevents me from focusing on my thoughts, and I definitely fall asleep way faster. When you're extremely tired and don't really quite have to pee, but you feel a slight pressure in your bladder, so you know you'll end up having to get up and pee in the middle of the night. So to spare yourself a middle of the night piss to break your sleep, you get up and have to groggily stand in front of the toilet until you can pee. The trick is to sit. This way you can sleep on the toilet until your body feels the urge. Then you're good to return to bed. The trick is to get one of those padded toilet seats like your grandma had. This way you can fall asleep and don't need to get up to pee in the middle of the night. When you accidentally bite the inside of your lip or cheek and you get that lumpy flap of tender skin and proceed to accidentally bite it another 5 to 10 times before it heals properly. My sister said there's some trick to stopping that, which is you push air inside your mouth against the spot on your cheek that you keep biting. I don't know who came up with that, but I tried it and it doesn't work. If you put an ice cube against the sore until the cube melts, that can often help the swelling go down, and you won't rebite it over and over again. Trying to get dressed in a humid bathroom after getting out of the shower, you can't fully get your skin dry enough to be rid of that icky damp clothes on skin feeling. Getting a bra on in that scenario is a nightmare. Yes, this so very much. I will be staying with my in-laws during Thanksgiving week, and this one of the things I'm dreading the most. Thankfully their bathroom is pretty close to our bedroom, so I actually pack after shower clothes, shorts plus tank top, to put on post shower and run to our bedroom hoping no one saw me. Feeling a sudden urge to sneeze, being stuck in limbo for 5 seconds, then not sneezing. Always seems to happen when I'm speaking to someone too, so I look goofy. Here's a quick tip for ya. When you need to sneeze, just pinch the hair under the nose or the hair in the nose. So mid-conversation you just stop talking, pull a funny face as you're about to sneeze, but instead pull a hair out your nose and carry on with the conversation? You'd look mental. I'd rather just say, sorry, thought I was going to sneeze, and carry on. That feeling of an eyelash stuck in your eye, but when you look there's nothing there. Each time that happens to me, I discover that it's actually a tiny little pimple-like, star-like thing at the edge of my eyelid, where my lashes are. I'm sure I'm not supposed to pop it, but I do, and I instantly feel better. Look and see if that's what it is next time. Funny how you're not supposed to pop anything like that, but it always feels so much better when you do. When your pencil's eraser is used a little too much, and the metal scrapes the paper and you get that feeling. I could feel this reply in my teeth. OMG, I felt it literally help. When a fart goes through the front crack instead of the back crack. What's even worse is when it gets stuck. And then you have to try and free it, but it doesn't always work. And then the little fart bubble gets behind your nutsack and tickles a little when it pops. Sleeping on your shoulder in a weird position. So for the next couple of days you can't look left suddenly. This person knows the pain of being older than 25. I fell asleep listening to a book in my truck a few hours ago. Woke up leaning on my door in a weird position. Got a crick in my back that I can't seem to get rid of, and it hurts when I take a deep breath. I know it'll be better in a few hours or a day, but it's annoying as hell right now. A cracked toenail that gets caught on your sock when putting it on. I just bend my toenail of my big toe back at the like 1/3 from the base point. I can't believe how much blood came out. I started reading this thinking that bending your toenail back was your solution to toenails getting stuck in your sock. Itchy butthole. This, because in most situations it's not acceptable to just scratch your. I just scoot my on the ground like a dog. I just summon up a big ol' fart and hope it scratches it on the way through. A Charlie horse that wakes you up from a dead sleep. That cramp in your calf that causes your pinky toe to lock down is up there too. In my swimming and water polo days, these were referred to as the dreaded toe boner. LMAO, toe boner is now going into my vernacular with my triathlon buddies. Your hands itch, but you can't find the actual itch to scratch. And the itch is usually so deep, you find yourself biting your arms like a psycho. Biting is the best way though. That sharp shooting pain you sometimes get in your bum while on your period. Ooh, I get lightning crotch. Oh yeah, the random cramp. Ugh, my mom and I get this. We call it knife in the butt. Legit feels like getting stabbed in the dry cracked skin on a microfiber cloth. I was just thinking of this. I feel like Spider-Man. Even thoroughly exfoliated and moisturized skin still feels terrible when touching microfiber. I wear gloves to clean with them because they are as effective as they are horrid to touch. Might be TMI, but passing a blood clot while on your period could be in the middle of a conversation, working out, standing up, and you can't really say, hold on while I pass this. Pardon me while I attend to the giant jello jiggler that just dropped in my panties. When you know you have a popcorn kernel stuck in your gums and you can't dislodge it for the life of you. Endless torture and a raw tongue. The tongue is such a good foreign object detector, but such a bad foreign object remover. The tongue is a good detector, but when the tongue gets help from the normally very good foreign object remover, it still won't remove. If my tongue points to one teeth, my finger will end up literally anywhere, but still not get the kernel out. That feeling when you're reaching for something, but your nail hits the side of that object and bends back slightly. Even if it doesn't break, it doesn't feel good. I tend to grow my nails long, and I've had the white part of my nails flip up, and even stay flipped up, until I put them down. Yes, dear God, that hurts. There's usually some bleeding under the nails when that happens. One time this happened, cause I was moving some big heavy bricks, and one somehow slipped through my hands, and caught my nails. Restless leg syndrome. It sounds made up. I remember my mom and I laughing about our LS support group. But once I experienced it, I totally understand why that would be necessary. I still feel guilty about making fun. I get restless legs every time I take medication that makes me drowsy. I also have crippling hay fever, which medication doesn't overly help with. One of the few that I have success with is diphenhydramine, which is commonly used in cold and flu medications, and cough syrup as the drowsy additive to help you sleep. The first time I took it, I was about 15 and was exhausted from sneezing non-stop all day. The medication ramped that up to 12 and then the RLS started. I was so frustrated, I was almost in tears the whole night, unable to sit still and feeling like I needed to pee for no reason. One of the worst night's sleep I've ever had. Wet socks. Anything foot related, you can't concentrate on anything else. Also, I drank wet socks from stepping in a puddle, and you can't take your shoes off as worse than accidentally stepped a socked foot in water on the floor at home. Being tickled. Especially if you don't want to be and keep saying, stop it, but they won't stop. They just keep doing it. I said stop it, but it's like they don't even hear you. My husband does this to me, and I become violent every time. You know that full body shiver you get when you are about to throw up, followed up by your mouth starting to water? Or am I the only one? The watery mouth at least is a thing. After that burst of saliva you got 2 to 5 seconds before your stomach violently spasms and shoots out whatever is in there. I'd say having an upset stomach and not being able to vomit is way worse. There are times that watery mouth is the best feeling ever. When your feet go to sleep, a weird tingle. When you get the static feeling you think, at least it isn't there. Then the pins and needles feeling, and having to step or stretch it out to help relieve. The numbness is the worst. When it's really cold outside, so you dress really warm. But then you get really sweaty, and you can feel the sogginess of it. When you take off the warm layer now, it's cold sticky sweat and warmth at the same time. Ugh. This was army basic training every day. Start the day at 40 degrees F, dressed for warmth. Within a few minutes you're soaked in sweat. Now go sit for an hour on aluminum bleachers and freeze. One of my friends said the same thing. I couldn't imagine thinking about uniforms from over 100 years ago, or the full set of armor. Like going down a metal slide on a hot day in shorts but everywhere. Chewing on tinfoil, or accidentally gritting your teeth. Or a grain of sand, when you're picnicking at the beach. When I accidentally clack my teeth together, I swear, I freeze for like 10 seconds to feel around in my mouth and make sure I didn't smash my teeth up. Same, but most of the times the 10 seconds are purely because of disgust. Having a mold of your mouth taken is just awful. The orthodontist stuffs a heap of, I think it's clay or plaster of Paris, something, in your mouth, and it basically chokes you whilst it dries around your mouth. It's disgusting. My dentist uses this fancy 3D camera wand now. It's amazing. No more mouth molds. That glop spills out and down into the back of your throat while you're trying not to gag on it is most unpleasant. Being constipated in the turd is halfway out, but then it kinda falls off, but the other half of the turd is still lodged in your anus, and it's hard as a rock. So you try to squeeze it out, and it budges just a little bit, but then you can't squeeze anymore. So you sit and wait for your body to automatically convulse the turd out. IBS problems. This is the epitome of me being glad I scrolled this far down in the comments, haha. Or you just give up and feel what you managed to push out slide back into your body. Then you get up from the toilet, feeling its presence just sitting there waiting and taunting you because you couldn't manage to get it out. The painful silence and stillness in your home after losing a pet, and you swear you still hear them. My cat Mitzi would usually come help me when I was doing the laundry. She's been gone over 7 years, but I still occasionally see her rounding the corner by my washing machine. When I look up and focus on the spot, she isn't there. The feeling that you are kinda falling from something when you are about to sleep. It's not really painful, but YK. Or that sensation when you do actually fall asleep for what feels like ages, but is only a few minutes, and you wake up in a moderate panic and everything looks surreal for a few seconds. They say that happens because your heart rate has dropped to below normal and it's your body's fight or flight response. When the dental hygienist scrapes your teeth with the sharp metal tools during a cleaning. The worst. This OMG-ness, and they recommend that you put headphones or earbuds in and listen to music to help drown out the noise. Like, no, ma'am, you're scraping my teeth. That noise is amplified throughout my entire cranium. No amount of blaring music through headphones is going to make that sensation any less intense or more pleasant to deal with. My actual dentist hit the little tongue tie thing on the bottom of my mouth with a dental burr and ripped it once. It hurt so bad. Gas pain. Sometimes it hurts so bad. I went to the hospital for it once because I thought I was legitimately dying. Same. I genuinely thought I was having a heart attack. Nope, just gastroenteritis and gas trapped in my upper GI tract. I felt like such an for wasting the year's time. When you're sick, or get an infection that affects your throat so everything you eat or drink feels like sandpaper, or stings as if someone was putting alcohol on an open wound. I recommend a small thing of tea or milk with lemon juice and honey, heated up and taken as needed. Helps soothe that sandpaper feel, among other things. Microfiber. Rubbing a dry hand across it. Dry rough winter heels on microfiber sheets. I gag just thinking about it. Hand. I have arm hands. Some recency bias from me, but I woke up to a calf cramp the other day. Holy fuck, I don't want that again. Still have trauma from waking up to one a couple months ago. Actually horrible. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. You need more magnesium and potassium. Buy yourself some magnesium lotion. I like Ancient Minerals brand, and apply it on your legs when you get out of the shower before you dry off and let it soak in. Haven't had a muscle cramp in years. Cutting your fingernails too short. Did that and then forgot and practiced guitar. String pressed right into the tender crack and burned like hell. Chronic nail chewer. Can't stress this enough. Sometimes it doesn't even hurt, it just, ugh, I don't have a word for it specifically. Just damn unpleasant. When you're brushing your teeth and your hand moves the wrong way, so you jam the toothbrush into where your gum and lips meet. Yes. The only consolation being that mouths are generally amazing at healing quickly. Thank between biting my own cheek, tongue, lip, and burning my mouth with volcanic temperature food, it's incredible how quickly it repairs itself, and the pain eases. I had my fingertip chopped off, and the knuckle was broken in half, so they froze the finger by putting 4 or 5 very painful injections into the knuckle behind. Then they took a pair of snips and snipped the remains of my knuckle off, which sent a snapping vibration up my arm, as if an elastic inside of me had been plucked. It was a very unpleasant sensation I've never heard talked about. Also, when they pulled and stretched the nerves out to cut them shorter, it was really icky feeling too. People always talk about pain from medical procedures, but we don't hear enough about the other truly bizarre sensations. Not being able to finish a yawn. When it feels like it's stuck in there and you can't get it out. When I get really stressed out, my body forgets how to yawn. I'll keep trying, but they just don't do what they're supposed to do. It's really the worst. It usually takes a day or two before I figure it out again. I yawn basically all day and would say this, or yawning really big where your jaw feels out of place are top answers. Puke getting in the nose. Awful. Or dude, then you just smell it for the rest of the day and even find a chunk in it later. Man, I remember one time as a child I got so sick and threw up so hard that it was coming out of my mouth and nose at the same time. Like actually coming out my nose, not just accidentally going to the back of it. The inability to help in a situation. Doubly so, if you caused it, and you're left wondering if you should try to help or awkwardly back away. Smile and back away slowly. Shouting, oh we are going to die, does not calm the room as much as you hoped. What about oh yeah baby, we are all about to die? When you are in a conversation, and it's a subject you know a lot about, but there isn't any silent spot for you to clarify things, don't want to cut them because it's rude. Then the subject changes, and you'll never be able to say anything about that subject. Relatable. And then mentally forcing yourself to remember to bring the topic up again. Then later there is a break in the conversation, so here's your chance, but you've forgotten what the topic was. The feeling of a texture you just touched still being on your hands, so you have wipe it off. That could just be an autistic thing about me, though. Edit, my second post to get 100+ upvotes today. This whole thread is making me feel autistic ASF. When I put on a sweatshirt or something, and it's the wrong texture for my brain today, so I rip it off, then have to find the softest thing in my closet, then build a new outfit around that. Anything with teeth. Someone sent me a 4-picture slide meme of someone putting nail clippers to their tooth, then the tooth on ice cream. Made me physically cringe. Yeah, I was really hoping people wouldn't reply and share. Clicking your teeth to hard hits a cerebral nerve like nothing else. From there the list just gets worse. The sound of styrofoam rubbing together when unpacking something. Yes, I hate styrofoam. I try to leave the room when things are unpacked or packed. Yes. And if it continues, I get irrationally angry at the person making that horrid noise and lash out at them. Balloons rubbing together affect me the same way. I don't know how to describe it, really, but that moment your stomach drops. Yes, there is something very similar to anxiety. But sometimes I swear something shifts and it feels like a drop. Acid slush, then nausea, like one of those rides at the fair, only while you're just standing there, not playing with gravity and velocity. But I also have autoimmune disease, and my body does weird and noon seems to know why. So it could just be that. Lol. That feeling when you realized you're happened to me when the teacher emailed me saying he knew I used ChatGPT on an assignment. That feeling combined with the dread of getting home and my parents' reaction is enough to make me learn a lesson real quick. For a person who menstruates, that feeling when you know you're close to your period and you're all goopy and you think you've just started but nope. Just discharge. Yes. When you flee to the bathroom because you feel like you're bleeding through your clothes and then it's not. I hate how it's like your body's last ditch effort to get fertilized. EEI, come one come all, the slip and slide is available for free today. That's right. No waiting. Just step right up. Step right up. We didn't build this magnificent tent for nothing. Thank you.